What's going on, guys, and welcome to the first episode of my FIFA 16 career mode. Yes, the wait is finally over. The team you guys chose for me was Watford. They won the poll. Thank you to everyone for voting in that poll. Watford were the winners. Really excited for this, and I think they were the best choice as well out of the poll. Really think they're going to be a great team for this year's career mode, and hopefully I can make this series a really good one for you. So we make our first signing of the season then. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is going to come in on a 2-season loan deal, which means for these 2 years we'll just pay his wages, which are £4 grand a week, and if we want to at any time we can sign him for £1 million. Still, as you can see, it is time for our first Premier League game with Watford. Of course, promoted from the Championship last season, we've taken over at Vicarage Road, but our first game is going to be away from home at Everton here at Goodison Park. Lovely ball to find Bertrand Traore, picks out Troy Deeney, fake shots around John Stones, and finally we break the deadlock here and make it Everton 0, Watford 1, and it's Troy Deeney who gets the goal, the skipper for Watford. Deeney finds Barami, great through ball into Loftus-Cheek, he offloads to Traore, quick little Ronaldo chop, great strike, it hits the post, but it comes down in the centre, and who turns it in from 4 yards out with 11 minutes to go? Ruben Loftus-Cheek, the man on loan from Chelsea. I signed him on loan, I threw him straight in the first team. He's 64 overall, there are better players on the bench, there are better players in the reserves, but I trust this young man. I think he's got what it takes to be a star in his Watford side, and to score us possibly the winner with 11 minutes to go, making his competitive debut for Watford. Well, what a signing this could prove to be. And we start today's episode off by buying a Scout Future Star from the catalogue. We redeem one here and we'll wait for our Scout to come back and see what player he picks up to our account. We start today's episode off by seeing that our Scout has returned from his extensive search of the world to pick us up a Future Star, and as you can see, he has found a guy called Marco Rientala, is that how you pronounce that, from Italy. 56 overall, 85 to 94 potential, 17 years old, 6'1" left winger. And yeah, I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, Scout Future Stars sometimes are pot luck, you know, sometimes they work out for you, sometimes they don't. But to say I'm a little bit disappointed is, you know, I'd say that's an understatement, really. I'm very disappointed because, you know, first and foremost, we don't need a winger. We've got some good players here already. Victor Barbo may be on loan, but of course we brought on Bertrand Traore, who's had a good start to the season. We've got Damari Gray, who I signed from Birmingham. We've got Lewis in the reserves that's has got a lot of potential. You know, he's very young. He's got loads and loads of room to grow. We don't really need to pick up a winger, but sadly he finds us one, and he's 56 overall. And here in this Watford side, it's our first season, and don't get me wrong, the squad you're seeing, even though I'm bigging it up because I really do like it, you know, it's not a bad score whatsoever. You know, 56 overall is just quite frankly nowhere near good enough to get into the first team, and I know the whole point of getting players through your academy is that to begin with they shouldn't be good enough for your first team, and if he grows like a normal player without any training, like normal growth would happen in FIFA without the training feature this year, he's not really going to be hitting 70 for like 4 years. So yeah, I don't really think that's a good scout. Aston Villa already have the lead in this game, but the fact of the matter is, you may have noticed it, you may not have noticed it. I don't think this goal should have stood because there was an extra man on the pitch, and it was just absolutely ridiculous because as the game was going on, I was distracted a little bit by the fact that there was a steward walking on the pitch by the touchline, almost getting involved in the play when Alan Hutton receives the ball. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Like, there's a steward on the pitch. I mean, you know, I know we go on about EA's game and how many bugs it has and everything, but this is just basic stuff. You know, there is a steward on the pitch. I mean, look, what's he doing? He's just walking along the touchline. I mean, if there was an award for the least amount of care given in the world, you know, this guy would definitely be a contender for it. I mean, seriously, he's just walking casually on the touchline, well, inside the touchline, you know, on the pitch basically, whilst the game is going on, almost gets involved in the Aston Villa build-up there, and it results in a goal for Aston Villa, but that was just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I'm not going to blame the goal on that, obviously, but I had so many comments from you guys saying, please take the Canada job. That wasn't just all the comments there, those are the only ones I can fit into the video, but I had so many comments saying, please take the Canada job. So that's it, I've done it. We're taking the Canada job, guys. It's done. I've accepted it, and I looked at this squad and I was thinking, oh my goodness, what have I got myself into? No no disrespect to any Canadian fans out there. I obviously have quite a few of them, which is a bit of a surprise, but hello to my Canadian fans. Yeah, Canada, like, this is not a good squad. This is going to be an unbelievable challenge, but do you know what? I think this is going to make this series even better. We've got a good side story here. My hope with Canada is I can get them to a World Cup. I don't know how long I'll be there. I don't know how long they want to keep me there, but if I can get Canada to a World Cup, I don't think I'll do anything with them in the World Cup, but if I can just get them to a World Cup, I'm going to be absolutely delighted. In today's episode, we have the Capital One Cup final with Watford against Chelsea here at Wembley. Traore goes down the right hand side. He keeps holding the ball despite Hazard's pressure. Takes it around his man, Bertrand Traore. Oh my goodness, what a goal! What a goal by Bertrand Traore! And we open the scoring 10 minutes in with Traore scoring against his former club, and what a goal! He kept still Gerardo on the ball. Can he cross the ball in towards Ibarbo in the centre? Up in the air. Loftus-Cheek takes it down. Loftus-Cheek off the bar. Loftus-Cheek again. Oh, he scored! I don't believe it. Ruben Loftus-Cheek has made it Watford 2, Chelsea 0. 16 minutes in. What a start to the game. Oh my goodness. He takes the control of the ball, hits it on the half volley. It hits the bar. It comes back to him. He wins the header against Terry, I think it was, and puts it into the open goal. Begovic can't get there. What a start to this game. Watford 2, Chelsea 0. First Traore against his former club, and now Loftus-Cheek against his parent club, the guy he's actually signed for permanently. It finishes at Wembley. Final score, Watford 2, Chelsea 1, and we have done it here at Wembley. Our first piece of silverware of the series. Final score, Watford 2, Chelsea 1, and Dini lifts the Capital One Cup in the air as we have won our first piece of silverware of the series. We welcome the Polish side to Vicarage Road for the first European game of the season and the series as well, and what a way to start it too. 29 minutes in, Marco Ryan Talla, remember the name, Marco the Magician, I might have to call this guy, 18 years old, left winger, can also play central midfield. He didn't have the best of starts to his season this year, his debut season in professional football. Had a couple of games, didn't look too threatening, too good. Before I put him in the team for this game though, here in the Europa League, I will be giving some chances to fringe players in this competition, and the Italian scores his first goal for the club, his first goal in the career, and what a wonderful free kick it was. Absolutely superb placement right into the top corner, and Marco Ryan Talla gets his first goal for the club, first goal in professional football. Mario Balotelli signed for Watford on a free contract. Yep, you heard that right. Mario Balotelli signed for Watford. Still following out, I decided to make a custom formation. Yes, I've created a custom formation for the first time with Watford. The problem throughout the series in 45 episodes has been the lack of goals. You guys have heard me complaining about it, and hopefully with this new custom formation we will score more goals. I've called it the Docks, and we'll wait and see if it turns out to be a successful formation for us, or if we'll need to change it in just a few games time. And in today's episode, guys, we have the Europa League final with Watford here against Milan for our first of two finals at the end of the season. This is quite a nice build-up though, as Traore gets on the ball, pokes it inside to Vidra. Nice build-up here, Vidra. Oh my goodness, 1-0 to Watford. Matej Vidra takes our first proper chance. It always will be as Ryan Talla finds Vidra. Good chance here. Back to Ryan Talla down the left-hand side. Can he get past Abate? Swing that cross into the centre. That's a good cross too. Oh, it's gone in. What a header. What a header by Loftus-Cheek. How about that? Ryan Talla to Ruben. That's what we want to see. What a solid header by Loftus-Cheek. Docs is a tactical genius. First for this formation, then putting Loftus-Cheek up top. I know what I'm doing. I've tried him as striker before. He's a physical presence. He's 6'3". What a brave header by Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Gets a punch in the face, but he punches the corner flag afterwards. Get in. Watford 2, Milan 0. Marco the Magician setting up Ruben, who heads it in. 2-0 to Watford. Fantastic stuff. The honest answer to your question is, I don't really know. Like, oh wow, Butland's not going to get there. Butland's not going to get there. That was a poor back pass. That's going to go in. Oh my goodness, what a poor back pass that was. and the Allianz Arena as well. Oh my goodness, goalkeeper Jack Butland, we have thrown it away. I don't believe this. Gets past Abate and gets himself inside. Marco Ryan Taylor possibly for free. Good save. Vidra surely, yes! Gets in. Matej Vidra. 3-2 to Watford. I am a tactical genius. Vidra. Blow it now, for goodness sake. Abate's throw. He's going it straight to Olari. What a mistake by Abate. Obi Olari running through. Vidra's in the centre for his hat-trick. Matej Vidra with the hat-trick makes it Watford 4, Milan 2. What a decision to start him up top. 4-2 to Watford, game, set and match. What a fantastic final. Watford, Europa League champions 2016-2017. Get in. But there you go, still Michael Keane lifting the trophy. Gave him the captain's armband. I didn't notice it always switched to him once I took off Troy Dean. In today's episode, guys, we have the FA Cup final here with Watford against Arsenal at Wembley. Here we go then, penalty shootout against Arsenal. Really, really nervous. Now Redmond against Czech. Come on, do what Ryan Taylor couldn't do and score. Yes, there we go. Sends the goalkeeper the wrong way and makes it 4-3. And now that means as well, from this penalty, if Arsenal fail to score, we will be FA Cup winners. So Welbeck, who spurned a great chance in stoppage time with a free volley from about 8 yards out, blazing the ball over the bar, has to score. Welbeck against Jack Butland, and it's saved by Jack Butland. Butland pulls off the save, and it's all over on penalties. Watford 4, Arsenal 3, and that is the... Oh no! I thought that was the last penalty. I don't believe it. Redmond against Czech. This to win it. There we go. That's the last penalty. Oh my goodness. Really, really pleased to have our names on the trophy. Our first FA Cup of the series. Get in. And what a way to do it as well. So Capu lifts the trophy. But no, we keep on offering Loftus-Cheek improved deals. You can see this one's 70 grand a week, 10% goal bonus, 4-year deal, which is what he wants, a crucial first team player status. But every single time we offer Ruben Loftus-Cheek a new deal, you will see he keeps on saying no, and he says the exact same thing. He's settled where he is and he doesn't want to relocate. Ruben Loftus-Cheek keeps on turning down these contracts, and as you'll see, doesn't accept a new deal here with Watford and doesn't want to stay at Vicarage Road. So I was prepared to make this guy the star. He was going to be the hero of the series, but now it's looking quite possible he might turn into the villain of the series. Ruben Loftus-Cheek may be going from face to heel in terms of popularity. Finally, at, I don't know, like the 9th attempt, Ruben Loftus-Cheek decides that he is going to come back to Watford for £4.6 million. Yes, we're spending £3.6 million more than we should have had to do so after we had that £1 million deal negotiated with Chelsea in the first season when agreeing the loan spell for him, but it doesn't matter, £3.6 million or not, I don't care. Loftus-Cheek is back at Watford. In the 43rd minute, he's at it again. He's putting his weight around, throwing his weight around, throwing his body around, winning the ball back from a terrible throw-in, chesting it down, taking it around the last defender, and what a finish from Ruben as well. With this guy, the stats really... So we took a round 141st game of today's episode then, and what a fantastic start to this game as well, because just 4 minutes and 41 seconds in, it is a goal for our 19-year-old winger, Marco Ryan Taylor. He scored against Basel in our last Champions League game here at Vicarage Road, and he scores here as well again. Gets played through with a lovely through ball, and it's a great finish by Marco as well. We faced Real Madrid twice now, and I gotta say, Ronaldo, I'm thinking Cristiano who? Like, seriously, Ronaldo just has not cut the mustard at all. He's been anonymous for the most part, and in this game, he was very anonymous. He did absolutely nothing. To be fair, Nathaniel Klein had a great game at right back once again. What a signing he's been for us. Defensively, he's been so solid for us this year. Klein was great, but, you know, maybe we're seeing one superstar fade and another one rise in the name of Marco Ryan Taylor, because Ryan Taylor in this game was just unbelievable. Goes towards the far post. It misses everyone. Matip controls it here, plays it forward, and now Bun's got to start running backwards. He gives it to Loftus-Cheek. Bun takes him out from behind with a two-footed challenge, but the referee plays advantage, and I'm so glad he does, because Marco the Magician gets his third goal in 3 games, his second of the night, and our young Italian winger makes it Watford 3, Aston Villa 0, with a goal from behind the halfway line, the longest goal of the series so far. And also this guy I noticed was available on a free transfer. I only noticed it because a few of you guys pointed out in the comment section in the last couple episodes, a few people commented and said Neymar was available on a pre-contract, so I thought I'll look into this, and you guys are right. He was available to offer a contract to and possibly get him on a free transfer, and as you can see right here, after giving him a £200,000 100 grand a week salary, we are going to get possibly the steal of the century, because the Brazilian says he wants to swap sunny Spain for Vicarage Road. So it looks like Neymar is going to come to Watford. But anyway, Neymar does accept a pre-contract here, and how about this for the steal of the century, guys? Thank you so much for letting me know that he was available on a free transfer. Neymar is going to come to Watford next season. Unbelievable stuff. Thank you very much for recommending me. The most important thing is what you're seeing right here. Celebrations, because for the first time, Watford are Premier League champions. Absolutely delighted. Thought it was kind of fitting as well. I picked a really weak side, but I did put Troy Deeney on the pitch, because Deeney, Watford through and through, loves the club. I thought, you know, he's not the captain for the team right now in this stage in career mode, but he was when we took over. He's a loyal servant. He's going nowhere in this team. He's going to stay here forever, and I thought it was kind of fitting that he got to lift the trophy. So in today's episode, we have the FA Cup final with Watford here as we're taking on Arsenal at Wembley, hoping to win our second trophy in just a few days. Carvalho, I can see Buffal at the far post calling for it, and there is Sofiane Buffal, stops the play with the fake Rabona, then gets himself inside, and it's still Sofiane Buffal, and it's still Sofiane Buffal, and what a goal! Sofiane Buffal, with just over 2 minutes to go, has scored one of the goals of the season to win us the FA Cup final. And it is 2 from 3. We've won the Premier League, we have won the FA Cup, and this gives us the right motivation going into our final game of the season, as we'll be taking on Barcelona in the Champions League final. What a fantastic game. And in today's episode here, we have the Champions League final with Watford against Barcelona. Yes, we got... So yeah, being invisible for that reason alone would be amazing, and we're already 1-0 down 4 minutes in, Jono. This isn't very good, is it? But yeah, being invisible would be amazing. Persistent as anyone out there, and that's been true since the first day. Oh, what a header, Riedewald. What a header, and we are back on level terms, getting the Dutch centre-half playing left-back this season. And for singing as well, oh, come on, Ryan Talla. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, he scored it! He scored it! What a goal from the free kick by Marco! Oh my goodness, I didn't even feel the need to stop talking there and talk about the free kicks. I never thought he'd score from that range. Marco the Magician has pulled the rabbit out of the hat. Oh my goodness, what a goal. That is just inside the post. Bravo has no chance. What a goal from Marco. And that is going to be it as well. Oh, get in, Marco. Oh, I can't believe he scored that. I'm literally out of breath, out of shock. I can't believe he scored that. But Marco Ryan Talla in the 90th minute with a sensational free kick curls the ball in and delivers the Champions League as Butland lifts it aloft. And 3 seasons in, we have completed the magic treble. Unbelievable stuff. With Canada here coming into our first ever national tournament, the World Cup here in Rush 2018. You saw the squad I picked, you saw the group being drawn in as well. The world champions Germany, Sweden and Uruguay as well. And with Canada, I know some of you guys have been down on the whole Canadian dream and not really finding it too interesting, but for me, this is something I've never really done before, because these are a bunch of 16, 17, 18, 19 year olds really. For the most part, just a group of teenagers going to the World Cup as a 3-star nation. We started the brightest in the first half, but in the second half here, remember the name, Jeremy Jakovic, our 17-year-old Canadian goalkeeper who I've given a captain's armband to. The biggest night of his life, leading out his country in a World Cup at just 17 years old, pulls off an incredible double save against the Arsenal man in form, Mesut Ozil. Unbelievable from Jakovic there, of course, a Watford Academy graduate, to win the game here, because even a draw in this game against the Uruguayans would still see us exit the group stage. But that was until the 29th minute when we would get that goal, and it comes through Jeremy Haber. So we had to score a goal at some stage in this game. We were looking really threatening early on, and as we went down the left-hand side here, we drilled across into the centre, and Haber, the 17-year-old, I mean seriously, the Watford Academy's got some decent Canadian youth prospects, but none better than this guy. Yeah. I had an important decision to make. Should we go for a second goal and kill the game off, or should we just try and hold on to the 1 goal goal lead. Well, I decided to go for the former, be brave with the Canadians, show that Canadian spirit, and with 8 minutes to go, what a decision that proved to be, because Junior Hoylett, the most experienced player in the team at just 27 years old, comes off the bench. He wasn't fit enough to start the game after the early injury he got in the first game against Germany. He comes off the bench and scores the goal that will surely now send Canada through to the knockout stages. So what a choke from Uruguay. All the South Americans needed to do in this game would get themselves a point against a three-star nation Canada, and they would be going through to the knockout stages. But instead, they were 2 goals down, and from kickoff, they gave the ball away again to the goal scorer Hoylett, through to the Guzman, through to the striker, who takes it around Jimenez, who hits the deck. He plays it across the Lars de Guzman, and de Guzman, another Watford prospect, scores the goal that will cement Canada's place in the knockout stages for the World Cup in Russia 2018. He's on loan at Barnet right now, but he's also scored the goal that is going to unite a nation as Canada are going through to the knockout stages of the World Cup. What a collapse from Uruguay. Unbelievable from the South Americans. 3 goals down against a 3-star nation who they only needed a point against. We've been drawn against England in the round of 16 for the World Cup here in Russia 2018. It just had to be, didn't it? Taking on England for the round of 16 stage with Canada. Already in this match, I'm singing the praises once again of the 17-year-old Canada captain, Jeremy Jakovic. He's had a fantastic group stage for us in all 3 games against Germany, Sweden and Uruguay. He'd played fantastically well, kept 2 clean sheets in those last 2 games against Sweden and Uruguay, and he started this game off fantastically well as well, frustrating England at every single opportunity. But check out what happens here in the 37th minute as Delph plays the ball through to Ross Barkley. Barkley takes around his Watford teammate Jakovic. He goes for goal, and the goal is gaping. You think, and everyone thinks he's going to open the scoring for England and make it 1-0. But Morgan, our left back, arrives out of nowhere and slides in and deflects the ball onto the roof of the net. Incredible block from our left back Morgan, and he keeps the score scoreless as we go into the half-time break at 0-0, showing exactly why Canada deserve to be in this stage in the World Cup here. We're not here through luck, we're here through determination and not giving up. Incredible stuff from Morgan. He picks out Clans Loreen off the bench, a Watford Academy player, and Loreen in the 102nd minute, 16-year-old winger, off the bench, fake shots round the England man, and scores the goal that could send Canada into the World Cup quarter-final. So I wanted to celebrate for the bench, but the animation stopped before I could do so. But Clans Loreen, 16-year-old winger, 61 overall I think he is. I brought him off the bench, but just 2 minutes in, Spain were going to find out just what England found out, and that is that they may get many chances, but they are not going to beat this guy with much ease. Jeremy Jakovic, the 17-year-old, had already made 2 big stops here. First deny Iniesta, and then Sergio Busquets, and then Diego Costa in the 25th minute as he kept it Canada 0, Spain 0, and our 17-year-old captain is having the tournament of his life here as it remained 0-0. And in the 29th minute, why am I even surprised about this? Once again, it's Jakovic with an incredible save to deny Busquets for a second time, and in half an hour, he'd already pulled off 4 world-class saves to keep the score Canada 0, Spain 0. And as you can see, I ran over the ball to number 4 first, then McKenzie runs over the ball, the wall jumps, and then Jeremy Haber, the 17-year-old, goes for goal. And I mean, I just don't know what to say about this, but Jeremy Haber makes it Canada 1, Spain 0, 6 minutes before the break with our first real chance of the half. And we were looking as though we were going to be on the plane back to Canada here with our heads held high. We refuse to give up though, we refuse to die down. And as Ferroes gets on the ball here with 4 minutes to go, he takes it around his man and finds the number 4, who plays it inside towards Osorio, picks out Akindele off the bench, and Akindele goes for goal and scores as well. And with 3.5 minutes to go, you just knew it was going to happen. Canada refused to give up, Canada refused to die, Canada refused to go home. Canada 2, Spain 2, rescue the game, and we will surely be taking the game into extra time for another 30 minutes worth of football. But in stoppage time, it is absolute heartbreak for Canada because Spain got themselves one final opportunity to win the game instead of seeing it go to extra time, and they would do just... Even though he's been phased out of the team a little bit, as there are better strikers in the team now, I've kept him here because I like him. I want to stay loyal to the Watford faithful and show that just because he's not as good as some of the strikers here, he's not going to be put on a scrap heap and sold. He's still here at Watford. I thought I'd let him be captain for the final day so we could lift the Premier League trophy. And what happens 23 minutes in? He gets himself an injury. Of course that had to happen. He's out for 3 months as well, funnily enough. And Troy Deeney on the final day, all he had to do in this 90 minutes was not get injured. Not get injured. I don't care if he doesn't score or not. So long as he just stays on the pitch for 90 minutes, that's fair enough. He gets to lift the trophy. But instead, in the first half, he gets an injury. He's out for 3 months. I just thought that was absolutely hilarious and typical my luck. So what I decided to do is change the team around so I can make Loftus-Cheek the captain. So come the end of 90 minutes, Ruben gets to lift the trophy. And I guess in a way it's kind of fitting because he was the guy that came into the first season and for the first 2 or 3 was regarded as a bit of an icon. So Loftus-Cheek gets to lift the trophy. And in today's episode, as you're probably aware by now, we have the Champions League final with Watford against Barcelona. So we got a terrible touch by Iniesta and it comes to Barkley, and Barkley tries to feed it inside to Carvalho, turns his man, shoots and scores. William Carvalho scores. I did not expect that to go in, but it did. And William from Konoplyanka, who's going to swing in this corner towards Laporta, free header and scores. Laporta scores, and he has other plans because we can keep the ball in the corner if we want to do so, but instead we want to get ourselves a third goal. It's Marco Ryan-Tala and we're going to get it, and the kid, the boy, the magician is unbelievable. Marco Ryan-Tala has ensured we will be winning the Champions League final, and what a lovely goal that was. Trying to take it around his man. I can see a man at the far post. It's David Alaba who deserves that. Who deserves that? Watford 1, Barcelona 4, and that man deserves that. But the Champions League is going to be won for his 2nd straight year by Watford. Marco Ryan-Tala lifts it. The first time we see him lifting silverware, and that could be the scene we'll see for many years to come during this series if Ryan-Tala does become captain of whatever team we may be leaving to next, if we do leave, or if he stays here, I may well make him captain next season at Watford. But either way, we are not in England anymore. We're not managing Watford anymore at Vicarage Road. We have moved to a new team for Season 5, and you guys have decided that for Season 5 onwards, we should manage Milan in Italy. Watford did accept a £40 million deal for him, and Marco Ryan-Tala is going to become our first signing with Milan, with our new team, for £40 million. So Marco, we just had to get him to Milan. You know, we just had to bring him back to his native Italy. It's his boyhood club, Milan. He supported a club all his life. We had to get him back to Italy. We had to make him our first signing here at Milan. Taking on the Scottish side, looking for revenge. They inflicted our first ever defeat on us since joining Milan in match day 1 of the Champions League. In the 81st minute here, well, he scored in the first half, and he's going to score once again. A superb solo effort from Marco the Magician. 42 yards out. McGowan thought, that's safe enough. He's not going to score from here, even if he's given the ball. Well, McGowan, you're wrong, because Marco the Magician launches the ball from range, 42 yards out, and it's his first ever free kick goal since the one in the Champions League final against Barcelona, if you can believe that. And in a must-win game, in a penultimate group stage game in the Champions League, we looked for a leader, we looked for our captain, and Marco Ryan-Tala gets his first ever career hat-trick, his best ever performance in the series, and also sends us through to the knockout stages of the Champions League with a game to spend here. I said that when we were managing Watford, I could see a series rivalry brewing with Barcelona, and I think that is going to be the case here, taking them on. And unfortunately for me, in the 75th minute, I made an absolute howler with Daniele Rugani, who came in January. He's been a really good centre-back for us, part of the defence that kept those 7 consecutive clean sheets, but unfortunately, well, we lose to Barca by 1-0 here at the San Siro. We will not be winning the Champions League in our first season with Milan. Really devastated about that as well, but I will say this, Barcelona thoroughly deserve to win this game, most likely. We win the Serie A title, really pleased with that. Of course, it was secured in the last episode, and really good to see. So Ryan-Tala lifts his first trophy as captain of Milan. Very pleased with that. And Team Cup final here with Milan against Torino. I'd love to get underway, but there are 2 officials just stood at the bottom of the screen that aren't really doing anything. I think they're posing for pictures because they're statuesque, really. And there is the full-time result then. Torino 0, Milan 2, and we win the Tim Cup and complete a double with Milan. So, and in my opinion, despite the failure in Europe, I would still say overall, this has been a successful season. So Marco Ryan-Tala is going to go ahead and lift the Tim Cup. We have won the Coppa Italia. Fantastic stuff. And our first season with Milan is, again, what I would consider successful, even though we did not do the job. in Europe. So really pleased with that. Still following out with some player training here for City Guardi and Ryan Talla, and check it out, get in, excellent stuff. I am so pleased to see this. Stop those effects, don't need those effects here. Let's get rid of those. As you can see right here, Marco Ryan Talla has now hit 90 after the training. City Guardi went up a rating to 80 as well. Check it out, Marco the Magician has finally hit 90 at 23 years old. I was 2 weeks out. We're in the second week of January right now. I was 2 weeks out. I said Ryan Talla would hit 90 in December. We're 2 weeks into January and he's now hit 90. I was 2 weeks out. I was pretty close. But for anyone who said January 2021, well done. You got it right. Marco Ryan Talla has now hit 90 in January. And I'm so pleased because you saw his stats right there. He's the star of the show. He's the star of the series. He's the skipper for Milan. He's just an amazing player and he's your hero as well, because I didn't really rate him when we first got him out of the catalogue, but you guys told me, no, stick with him, it will turn out to be amazing. I was like, nah, I don't see it, to be honest, but you guys are right. He turned out to be absolutely extraordinary. I didn't want to stop this career as well until Marco hit 90, so to do it in our probably 6th and final season, it all just blends in really well, doesn't it? So I'm really pleased with that. He's hit 90, you saw his stats right there. He looks unreal, as he already did 89, but either way, really pleased with that. Lazio would have to score this penalty, otherwise we are going through. Filippini would stand up and take it for Lazio, but the number 28 is denied by Djokovic. He pulls off the save, and I thought it was all over at this point, but how about this? For the second time in this series, we have that bizarre penalty shootout glitch, because of course, after that penalty we scored, we didn't need to take another one, but Bangadino stood up to take it again. Yes, Bangadino, who literally just scored for us. Then Djokovic saved the penalty, which should have been a winning one. Bangadino stands up and takes this penalty, but it's pointless. We'd already won the shootout. We'd already won it. Bangadino takes his second penalty in the shootout, once again converts it, and the game finishes, and the shootout finishes 8-6 to Milan, and this makes no sense whatsoever. We didn't have to score that penalty with Bangadino. How can EA mess this up so badly? Because this is the second time in my series this has happened. I thought, if nothing else, this will make the game a lot more exciting. Only one centre-back playing. I'm sure there's going to be tons of chances, and we'll definitely see quite a few goals get scored as well. They are playing a 3-4-3, so we should see quite a few chances early on in the game as well, straight from kickoff, really, and at half-time the score was 0-0. So if this game didn't sum up FIFA 16, then I don't know what to tell you, because at half-time in the game, not play the one at the back of formation again, but instead play Ruben Loftus-Cheek in goal. Yeah, I had a couple of requests for this and pulled off an absolutely superb save and kept it at 0-0, but a few minutes later, RLC, well, what a save this was by Loftus-Cheek. Incredible stop by the goalkeeper. We are indeed champions of the Serie A for a second straight season. Not winning it would have been disastrous, but to win it for 2 straight years in a row, the 2 seasons we've been here at Milan, once again winning the Serie A title, it's so great to see, to retain the title, to retain the league. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 155, and today we have the Champions League final with Milan against Barcelona here, and it is indeed the final episode of the season and the final episode of the series as well. So the Champions League final, our first ever with Milan, our third. I said to myself that I wasn't going to go on holiday again as Sandro comes inside. Oh, Ryan Talla's given away a penalty. Ryan Talla's given away a penalty. Oh no, what a terrible start for Marco. Oh. And Messi's chipping this. Oh, he didn't chip it, but Djokovic saves it anyway. Get in. I knew he was going down the middle. I thought he'd chip it, but it doesn't matter. JJ turning up in the final. He lives for these big moments. You saw that in the World Cup. Oh, JJ, what a save. Fantastic stop by the Canadian. Right, and that is so valuable, and he's such a selfless superstar. Get in, Robert Lewandowski, 1-0. We take the lead. What a signing he's going to prove to be. Sure. And then, as the season continued, Lewandowski surely for 2-0, get in, 2-0 before the half. What a fantastic signing he's been. And my grades and my... Oh, Jesus, Djokovic, you got to get there, mate. Seriously, if you come for it, you got to get there. To ask questions because of the way a teacher's making you feel, and that's just not good teaching, in my opinion. Penalty referee, thank you very much. So, Ryan Talla's standing up to take it, but Lewandowski is on a hat-trick. So, oh man, Marco, we talked about selfless superstar early on. Marco's a bit of a selfless superstar, gets a lot of assists, gets a lot of build-up, but not as many goals as he possibly could. So he's giving a penalty away for Lewandowski's hat-trick, and they're going to celebrate together, because they should, but Ryan Tyler doesn't want to celebrate with him. There we go. So there we go, Milan 3, Barca 1. What a signing in January, Robert Lewandowski. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know why I did that. I have no idea why I did that, but Djokovic is having one hell of a final. What was I... Why? For what reason? Yeah, I guess 29 because I was born on the 29th of November. But I also like the number 19 for some reason. I don't know why, but I've always liked the number 19 as a lucky number too. Mitov Nilsson to Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek! He's come off the bench to score. Ryan Tyler may not score, but Loftus-Cheek does. Oh, isn't that nice to see? Milan 4, Barcelona 1. The final's ours, no doubt. Same scoreline as our last Champions League final with Watford against Barcelona. Loftus-Cheek comes off the bench. That's good enough. If Ryan Tyler's not going to score, at least he gets an assist, gives a penalty to his teammate for his hat-trick, Mr. Selfless, and lets Loftus-Cheek score as well. Celebrates with him. Team player, the skipper. Oh, that's really good to see. I'm glad one of those two scored. Final score, Milan 4, Barcelona 1, a hat-trick for Lewandowski and one for Loftus-Cheek as well. Our name is on the trophy, and in our 6th and final season, our series rivals Barcelona have been beaten again for the 3rd successive time in a final. Ryan Tyler lifts the Champions League trophy for the 3rd time in his career. Well, doesn't get to lift it for the 3rd time in his career, but I think, is this the first time he lifts it? But he's a Champions League winner anyway for the 3rd time in his career. What a great achievement, and we spent over £250 million assembling this squad. Ironic that the camera was panned to two of the only players that are still here since we took over in El Shaarawy and De Chilio, but either way, and he was your hero in the end. He was your hero. I didn't rate him, if you remember, I didn't rate him very highly. How I lived to regret those words. What a monster he turned out to be. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Look at these stats. Without doubt, one of my best youth players ever. Canadian team. We're a 4-star nation now. I'll get in. What a lovely way to end this series too. We're a 4-star nation now. I just realised we're a 4-star nation. That's fantastic. So we've grown then. We've grown a whole star. 3 to 4. Okay, so we're still not anywhere close to where I wanted us to be, which is 5-star. But we've grown a star. We got halfway. That's pretty good. And that's really cool. So we grew a star then in the end. What a lovely way to end this series. We grew to a 4-star, and it's awesome to know how much you guys support me. So without you guys, I couldn't do this series. I appreciate you all very, very much, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this series. And again, I do know some of you guys will be disappointed in this ending, but I hope my next career mode is going to be just as good as this one. I've had so much fun making it, and I love you all very, very much. So thank you so much for watching today's episode of Career Mode, guys. We are going to leave it there. I honestly don't know how to end it other than saying thank you like 5, 6, 7 times. So again, thank you very much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Much love to you all. And yeah, I won't see you for another episode of Career Mode very soon, but I will see you for another video on my channel very soon. New Career Mode starting very soon. You can vote on the team on this Saturday coming. The next Career Mode will start on Saturday the 26th. And I'll see you for another video on my channel very soon. Much love. See ya.